Okay, my name is John Staples, and this is my final for philosophy. And I chose to do the first question where it asks about philosophers and their moral theories, and I chose John Stuart Mill and utilitarianism. And with John Stuart Mill, there's James Mill and Jeremy Bentham as philosophical radicals. Uh, John Stuart Mill was the first person in the British Parliament to advocate for the woman's right to vote. He pushed utilitarianism, which was originally published as a series of 3 essays. It was intended to correct common misconceptions about utilitarianism, and he was responsible for popularizing utilitarian moral theory. Jeremy Bentham was a founder of modern utilitarianism. He pushed the greatest happiness principle, which said, "It's the greatest happiness of the greatest number that is the measure of right and wrong." He also said that nature has placed mankind under the government of the two sovereign matters, pain and pleasure. And he also talked about hedonism, which is any theory that argues for seeking pleasure. John Stuart Mill with utilitarianism. People misunderstood utilitarianism by interpreting utility as the opposition to pleasure. People argue that it's rare and demeaning to replace the meaning of human life to pleasure. Quantity and quality of pleasures. With the higher pleasures, the higher the human pleasure are intellectual, social, political, moral, and the lower pleasures are animal pleasures, such as eating, drinking, and sleeping. We can identify the difference between a higher pleasure and a lower pleasure in the following way. We will always choose a lesser amount of a higher pleasure over a greater amount of a lower pleasure. People tend to misunderstand utilitarianism by confusing happiness with contentment. It's better to be human being dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. Sorry. People agree that happiness cannot be the rational aim of a human life because happiness is just unattainable. You have to go through minimal pain and maximum happiness to find a happy life. That's my final with John Stuart Mill and James Mill and Jeremy Bentham on utilitarianism. And I had fun in this class and learned a lot. And thank you, Dr. J, for teaching a good class. All right, cool.